Hey bodybuilding fans, this is your 2009 Mr. Olympia preview. I'm Myron Milkey for bodybuilding.com. That's right, the 2009 Mr. Olympia is only a few weeks away, and it again will be held in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Orleans Arena on Friday and Saturday, September 25th and 26th. The judging will be Friday night, and the finals will be on Saturday night. The Olympia Expo will again be held at the Las Vegas Convention Center. Well, let's get right down to it. Let's find out who's going to be competing in the 2009 Mr. Olympia. We'll start with last year's top 6, beginning with Dexter the Blade Jackson. He will be back to defend his title. Dexter shocked the bodybuilding world last year when he upset the 2-time reigning champion Jay Cutler. Last year, Dexter had the perfect combination of size, symmetry, proportion, and definition, and was crowned the champion, and he's looking to capture a second title. Joe McNeil will still be running the numbers, as Dexter likes to put it, but otherwise, Dexter will be serving as his own coach this year. Jay Cutler came in too smooth on Friday night last year. He actually dropped 12 pounds by the finals on Saturday night. He spent an hour in the sauna Saturday morning and afternoon. He looked much better, but he had lost too much ground to Dexter the night before. Jay is rumored to be in the best shape of his life this far out from the Mr. Olympia. And for your information, Jay's got a brand new haircut that he's going to be sporting for the Mr. Olympia this year, sort of like Andy Hammond's Mr. Incredible haircut. Well, next up we have Phil Heath, who took 3rd place last year. I spoke to Phil a few weeks ago, and he says he's on target. He's gunning to win this year's Mr. Olympia. Phil's meteoric rise to bodybuilding stardom has been nothing less than incredible. He came close to winning the Olympia on his first try last year. Unlike some of the top pros, Phil makes tremendous gains between each show he does. He's taken a full year off, so it'll be interesting to see what he looks like this time out. Dennis Wolf was the big disappointment last year, even though he moved up 1 placing from 2007. People seem to think since he was working with Chad Nichols, who was Ronnie Coleman's nutrition guru, he'd be a shoo-in for the title. But the big bad wolf over-dieted with 0 carbs last year, and he came in looking shredded, but he lost his fullness from the year before. He had surgery earlier this year to fix a visible hernia. Reports say he's healed and fully recovered, training hard, and is adding plenty of carbs back in this year. Tony the X-Man Freeman. He took 5th last year. He came in dry and he came in full. At the Arnold Classic, however, he wasn't as full, he was still dry, but he looked a little lanky. With Tony, you never know which physique is going to show up. At his height, he really needs to come in full to prevent that lanky look. Melvin Anthony rounded out the top 6 last year. Melvin is one of those guys who seems to get overlooked. He's established himself as a top 6 Olympia finalist for a couple years now, but his inability to really come in dry has held back his placement. He arguably has the best shape of today's pros, but he really has to come in a little bit sharper. So that was last year's top 6. Well, we have 2 other guys that weren't in the competition last year, that being Kai Green and Victor Martinez. Kai Green will be making his Olympia debut. I saw him at the Arnold Classic, and if he comes in looking like that, he'll be in the running to challenge Dexter. His posing is off the hook, and his hands and quads could be the best in the sport right now. Kai and his coach, Oscar Arden, have already set up camp in Las Vegas, and they'll stay there through the competition. Reports are that Kai was well over 300 pounds only a few weeks ago, and he's added even more size. Victor Martinez is returning to the Olympia stage after a 1-year hiatus due to a knee injury. He made his comeback at this year's Arnold Classic and came close to winning it again, but Kai Green held him off. Victor's legs were still a little smooth from a result of the injury, but with a few more months to train them, we'll have to see how those legs measure up at the Olympia. In this lineup, they will have to be 100% spot on. So there you have it. The top 6 plus Kai Green and Victor Martinez. In my opinion, these guys will be in the top spots again this year. So, how do I think the chips will fall in Vegas this year? Where will the placings be? Drum roll, please. If all the guys come in at 100%, this is how I see the final placings happening. Phil Heath will win the 2009 Mr. Olympia, but it will be a close battle with Kai Green. and Kai will come in a very, very close second. Dexter Jackson will not repeat, and he will fall into third place. I see Jay, Victor, and Dennis battling it out for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Tony Freeman and Melvin will be battling it out for 7th and 8th place. But if either one of these two guys are not at their absolute best, easily guys like Branch Warren, Silvio Samuel, or even Mo Elmasawi could bump up a few places into the top 8. So there you have it. That's my Mr. Olympia preview. I will be there in Vegas covering the event, trying to get the inside scoop. I'll have full articles on both the judging and the finals. This is Myra Milkey for bodybuilding.com.